back. We are here to play You Can Check Out Anytime You Like, but You Can Never Leave by Martin S. This is part three of Smoke and Mirrors, and yeah, let's see where we go from here. Elle, what is the game that you're picking for right now?
I am going to go with is there something I should know or an investigation?
Okay.
I think I definitely would like Heath to be a part of the scene, but I think it could make sense for the man in the mirror, the man behind the mirror, I'm so sorry, to participate as well.
Hmm.
Um, the setup for this scene says, set the scene with your chosen partner, decide which part of the hotel you're in and what incident, anomaly, or other mystery you're investigating. Other players may join freely if it makes sense for their characters to be there. Um, Last we saw Stella, or we kind of didn't see her, but it was implied that she stepped through to the other side of the mirror, having discovered the secret way to access that world through song. Um, and because of the promise that she made to Heath back in session one, I think she is going to try to sort of start mapping the other side or kind of find the place or places that Heath has been seeing in his dreams.
Hmm.
So I kind of want to have her investigate alongside Heath, but like on two sides of the mirror. Like she will be a reflection in the mirrors of the hotel, like speaking to Heath from the other side and working together that way.
Ooh.
I think it can make sense for the man behind the mirror to also be investigating, but guess that depends, Kevin, on how much you think the man behind the mirror already knows about um the version of the hotel that he exists in, or like whether there's something that he would want to find there in particular.
And also, I would like to know now that Stella's on that particular side of the mirror, how does he feel about that?
We did learn that that he has strong feelings for Stella. But what exactly those are is anybody's guess. Um, I don't know how much he knows about his own side of the realm. I don't know how much he exactly goes exploring, and I don't know if he goes exploring in the sense of it being odd and anomalous to him because he's an anomaly. It's not odd and strange to him. So I don't know how much exploring he's done and investigating. It'd be like going to like the thing that's coming to my mind is that it'd be like going to therapy for a normal person. It'd be like investigating himself. Um, which I don't know if he's particularly inclined to do. Like so many people.
I'm just wondering because I think if I remember correctly, it's like you mentioned that. Were you thinking that he was a little pissed off at us because it's like we're part of the reason that he's here? Am I remembering that correctly? Um,
I hmm.
if I'm remembering that incorrectly, you just like, just tell me because I'm in three games. So,
Um, I mean, I do know that like just going back to the character sheet, Bregan Moore, the man behind the mirror, is cold, detached, and uncanny. So,
mm,
just being cold and distant from the guests is very in character for him, regardless of the reason. But
okay.
as for like investigating the reasons for why. I remember mentioning something about like they keep calling him, like people keep calling him back,
Yeah.
or people keep
Okay.
calling him into their spaces, and he just wants to be left alone. He's just,
That's why I keep thinking like, that's like, he's a little bit pissed off at us
yeah,
about
yeah,
that. I mean, and
um,
yeah.
yeah. Uh, And I mean, we know he is chased with violent intent to a staff member, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. And he's actually like kind of cornered Heath in his room.
yeah,
So like now that Stella's on his turf, that's
yeah, that's odd. And I don't know how he feels about it yet.
okay.
He might treat her as an invader.
Ooh,
Um, but I don't know yet. I'm still trying to figure that out.
okay. Well, let's see. What stakes do you have in the case? What lengths will you go to in order to find answers? And what are you hiding from each other? Oh boy. Alrighty. So, hmm. What part of the hotel that you're in? Do you think that this is around nighttime that Heath is actually dreaming, Stella? And then you're following essentially Heath's dream self?
Sure, that's interesting.
Yeah. Because
Um,
you,
oh, and Heath is like kind of exploring this like strange liminal space in
hmm
his dream, and
yeah.
maybe we didn't realize it before, but it is sort of an expression of the mirror hotel.
Yeah. I think
Sure.
that's the easiest way to do it. And then, of course, it's like, it's probably the closest way to be able to track Heath because, like, since he's in that liminal side, then also, too, I mean, like, the reflective, the mirror side of it is probably the closest, like, to that particular space of the hotel. But I wonder if. He probably realizes it though, but what is he? Oh, was he hiding from you?
Well, I guess I am curious about Heath's stakes here. Like obviously he's like seen this place many times in his dreams and has been intrigued by it because of that. But is there something deeper? Like is there something that he expects to find if he can reach this place?
Yeah, I don't
Is
think.
there some reward waiting for him there?
Yeah, I don't think he's told anybody. No, he hasn't told anybody. He is thinking that this is the way that he can contact his fiance. Like through the dream world, I mean, like this is his way of like contacting her, through death or whatever. So I mean, like if he can't speak to her the normal way, then I mean, like at least this way maybe he can like find her here, or at least find a pathway to her here. At least that's what he hopes for. But I don't think he's admitting that to himself yet either. So, uh, stakes in terms of if he doesn't, I mean, like, he's probably just going to keep having this damn recurring dream until, he either finds a way out or he does. What lengths will he go to find answers? I don't know. Just keep mapping, keep trying to add. He'll add pages to his journal, I guess, until he figures out like the connections, the pathways, the patterns, and such.
I think for Stella, the stakes are about, well, repaying her promise to Heath. He's been very kind to her and has made her feel like she's not completely alone. Um, why is she hiding? I think she's got a secondary goal here of finding the man behind the mirror and seeing his truest form or something. I think whatever happened um, with that moment where she spoke in a voice that wasn't her own and she saw that face that seemed so familiar, but that she couldn't recognize, but which like she knew that woman, that young woman was named Heath. Um, I think she's confused and intrigued by that and thinks that the man behind the mirror has the answers.
Love it. Okay. Oh, Coin. Got it. So, yeah, you're conducting the investigation. I mean, again, this is where you can see, like, Heath through some kind of like veiled space, like, where he's going. And maybe you are doing like a investigation in tandem from where you are.
Yeah, I'm sort of picturing like kind of set the scene starting it off. Um, that Heath is in the reception hall of the hotel. There's a mirror behind the reception desk in which you can see Stella, though she's not in the room with him in his dream. But then, like, you have that kind of refractive effect of like a mirror reflecting a mirror, reflecting a mirror, reflecting a mirror. Um, and so you see different, like, all of these different possibilities of Stella sort of reflected, and Stella's kind of seeing the same thing from her side. Um, but of Heath, of course, reflections of Heath. And we start like each standing in front of the reception desk, looking at each other through the many reflections in the mirror.
What do you see of the? Oh, what do you see of the different possibilities of Heath? Just out of curiosity.
There is a Heath that is light and carefree. He has a simple gold wedding band on his finger. He steps away from the mirror, even as the other Heaths linger. That Heath, the happy Heath, has no need for this, no need to be here. She sees Heath with rime covering his face, his lips gone blue, his eyes dark and deep. This Heath looks almost underwater, as though viewed from like above a pool looking down into it, and a version of him that is drowned. And she sees the Heath that she recognizes, sad and stoic and trustworthy, she thinks. In conducting this investigation, we take turns clockwise around the table. On your turn, you pose an investigative question to the person to your right and flip a coin. On heads, their answer should be beneficial, informative, or something you were hoping for. On tails, their answer should be vague, unhelpful, or something you were hoping against. Uh, After 5 questions have been posed, we will check the tally and decide together on the resolution based on how many heads and tails we have.
Okay.
I think I think Stella smiles at Heath, then turns. You see her like leave the frame of the mirror in front of you and maybe appear in a mirror to the side of the room. And in this way, you can track her movements through the hotel. She's still wearing like the robe we last saw her in, which is kind of streaked with her own blood from her palms. And she leaves this little trail of light blue feathers as she walks. And she walks the hall of the hotel, hoping to find a secret room or route that will make certain odd details of the case make sense. The odd details, I think, are the kind of shifting locations and shifting shapes of the hotel hallways.
Okay.
Does she stumble on anything new?
Do you flip the coin or I flip the coin?
I was just wondering that. I think maybe it's me
Okay,
who flips it.
and then I'll give the answer.
Yes. The heads 4 to 6 would be tails.
Okay,
It's a six tails.
tails. All right. Okay, vague and unhelpful. Let's see, vague, unhelpful. Something you were hoping against. I think you're going to just see as you're walking along and then trying to see if you can find a secret room or a route. I think you just see like it looks so mundane. You were expecting to see something very different here in the mirrorverse or whatever, and for some reason it just looks so normal. There's nothing different about it. I mean, has the same light sconces, has the same rugs, has the same wallpaper or whatever. For this particular part of the hotel that you're in, you're almost disappointed. It's like, really?
Heath, has it always looked like this?
Stella? Stella? What is that? Is that a two-way mirror? What? Where the hell are you?
I found a way in.
In
She
where?
she proudly shows her bloody palms in the mirror.
What did you do, Stella?
I just sang it a little tune. Maybe if you tried, you could be where I am.
Oh God. And then like he'll look at his notes, and then all of a sudden, like you see a look of horror on his face, like I can't read my notes. I can't read my I can't read my notes. That doesn't make any sense. What the hell? Wait, wait. The man behind the mirror said, "Language. I can't. If I can't read my like words, then I must be dreaming." Stella, are you dreaming too?
I don't think I'm asleep yet. I feel more lucid than ever.
Let's see. Oh boy. All right, so I'm gonna say that this is very close to dabbling in strange and mystical forces in my search for answers. What price do I pay, and what do I learn? And depending on the answer, you can narrate what Heath does in this moment.
Hmm.
Let me see. Okay, hold on. I throw, and then like you can tell me what I get. Oh my God, heads! Amazing.
It's beneficial, informative, or something you were hoping for.
So I mean, I still pay a price though. But yeah, what have I learned?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have a thought, and I want you both to let me know if this is okay.
Okay.
But I think that maybe Stella opens her mouth once more and is about to suggest again that he, sings something, that music is the key. And at that very moment, soft strains of jazz start to emanate from somewhere deeper in the hotel. And if and when we follow them, we find that our steps are leading us to the ballroom. There is a dance happening and there's a band. playing. But there are only two people on the dance floor. One is perhaps the man behind the mirror. I don't know in what form. And Kevin, you can tell us that if you're okay with it. The other is your fiance, Heath. Almost as though you pulled her here somehow.
Is she dancing with him?
Cheek to cheek, I think.
Then I think the man behind the mirror looks like Heath. Maybe a pre-hotel version, or if not pre-hotel, then an alt, and the coffee shop AU version. Um, something something is different, a different hat or a different hairstyle, but it's Heath.
Is it the happy Heath wearing the wedding band?
Oh, it's probably the happy Heath.
Oh, it's Happy Heath. I think the clear indication though that it's the man behind the mirror is that like where the eyes should be, there is just reflective, there's mirrors. Eyes are like solid reflective silver.
What? Stella, are you seeing this?
Is that you?
That's that's not me. But that's my fiance. That's my fiance, Melody.
Melody. Like a song.
Yeah. Melody. Melody.
I think Stella reaches toward Heath, but can't quite touch him.
Like his
And
yeah, his steps are like they're like leaden weight. It's like like very deliberate but very heavy. Like as if he can't quite figure out how to walk, but he's trying real hard in where he is. Um and he's calling out, but I don't know whether they're actually paying attention to him or not.
is it like that thing that happens sometimes in dreams where you're trying to go to a place and you're walking? You're definitely walking, but it's not getting any closer.
Yeah. Yeah. And you feel the effort, right? I mean, like Heath feels like he's sweating bullets because he's like making so much effort, like he's running a marathon, and it's like it's not working.
I think I fixate my attention on one specific piece of information, detail of the room or object, trying to learn as much as I can from it. What does it have to tell me? I think almost the way she did um when the man in the mirror was Avery Chase. Stella is fixated on this dance happening before her and feeling like a little pang of um what others might recognize as envy, but what she just experiences as extreme annoyance, this little fire that like ignites in her chest, and she doesn't really know where it comes from. But I think she is taking in every detail of this melody, this fiance. Um, what what does she learn from watching her? Um, I will roll my die. another 6, which is tails.
You can tell she's a very attractive girl. Um, but like not attractive in a Hollywood way, and not necessarily attractive in a like a distinct style way, like not goth, not, you know, um, like a it girl kind of way. It's more like like you're you're a great friend, but you're really attractive. Um, she's just got that glow about her, which makes people glad to be in her presence. And there's just that glow, and you see a glow that seems to be reflected in Happy Heath, man behind the mirror's eyes, because again, the reflective eyes are just kind of just reflecting something
Mm.
back at her and um, you know, you and Heath, when he looks up in your direction, even though Heath is not getting any closer. So, let's see. I think by this point, I mean, you know, Heath is doing his damnedest to try to get there and yeah, and calling out and yelling out for his fiance. They're not paying attention. Her and Happy Heath seem to be wonderfully involved in each other and just really happy. And he then notices something new or out of place in the hotel that seems to have something to do with how or why she's here in this particular way. And he decides to look at it or decides to investigate it. Is the diversion fruitful? Let's see. Let's find out.
Is it heads or tails?
I know. Oh, God. That's a heads. What's new?
I think I think you call out once more for Melody, and there's a peal of laughter behind you, almost like it's responding to your cries. And when you turn, you see another Heath, another very happy Heath with his hand in Melody's, and they are running down the hall, laughing at some private joke together. You watch them turn the corner and you follow. When you turn, you see them pressed against the hotel room door, um, kissing passionately. You watch yourself fumble for the keys. You see yourself tumble into the room. You sprint for the door. The hallway seems to be impossibly long. It's like you're running forever, but you still catch the door before it closes. The room is dark, but you hear yourself whispering. You hear Melody saying that she loves you. And Kevin, what does Heath see when he turns on the lights?
The lights were down when Heath saw all of the passionate embracing going on. This is head, so it should be useful, right?
Yeah.
Hmm. Remind me what it's at stake for Heath again?
Finding a way to communicate with his fiance through the liminal space, even
Mhm.
though she's dead.
Finding a way to communicate. That's the ultimate goal. So it will be a good clue in that regard. We already have the music. I think you see a swimming pool. You turn on the lights and the room is not geographically what would make sense for what you know about the layout of the hotel. Instead, you find a maybe 5-10 foot hallway that opens then into uh yeah, a swimming pool. I'm gonna say the outdoor pool. I need to make that spicy. Invite that into the space.
Do I see anybody here?
I don't think you see anybody. But I think you hear Melody and yourself, voices indistinct and uh in that dreamlike muted and muffled sort of way. You can recognize the pitch and the timbre, but the it's like run through the Charlie Brown adult filter.
Right. I think he sinks to his knees and then tries to like close his eyes and just hear to see if he can figure out where. It's almost like he's like suffering from a little bit of vertigo, is like, he's just trying to get his bearings, but then like try to orient himself to where that sound is coming from, even though he sort of knows it's a dream. But he's kind of hoping not, because he's so close. So, Stella, did you follow?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think that as Heath struggles to get his bearings by the outdoor pool, is it like nighttime outside by the pool, do we think?
I think it'd add to the atmosphere if it was, because then you only have, since the outdoor pool is supposed to be closed down, like maybe there's only like a couple of like not spotlights, but like like the motion detector lights, kind of like just kind of shining a little bit, but nothing beyond just near the hotel itself. Like you don't see beyond, like maybe 10 feet out, and the
Mm,
outdoor pool looks pretty big. Um, so
yeah, I think when one of those lights clicks on, uh, illuminating the surface of the pool, or at least part of it, you could see Stella's reflection in the water. And she is staring up at Keith. But Keith, who's Keith? Heath. And reaching up toward him. And I think from the from below the surface, from the other side of this watery mirror, we actually see Stella's fingers like pierce into this side and grab the rim of the pool. And she's pulling herself up out of the water, looking kind of disoriented. I think she's humming, and her hair is like completely lank. Her robe is soaked and clinging to her body, and she will like pull herself up and sit next to Heath with her legs dangling in the water. Um, she is humming the wedding march. She doesn't know why that's in her head, but it is. And I think she's going to pick the brain of her investigative partner hoping they might have picked up on something that she hasn't, she will say to Heath, she's dead. I I don't know where I saw her before. It was that time in my room with the spotlights and the spinning. She was, I saw her blood. Boom. She's here. Is it just because we're in your dream? Or something else? And those are two, which is heads.
I think Heath's head is bowed down, eyes closed. And then when he lifts it up to you, you see that, like, it's got that glassy, filled look, as like the tears are ready to fall, but not quite. Yeah. It's different. My dreams have always been going down the hallways. And usually it's different, where I'm trying to map the halls and finding different rooms all the time. But this was different tonight, where she was here. And she was with me from before I was here. It's almost, I don't know, like showing me a different timeline. I don't know. I mean, it just seems so, I don't know if the hotel's taunting me or what, but I mean, this is different. I hadn't seen her in my dreams before this. And there's something new. I'm wondering if maybe you're right. Maybe I need... Because of you and the song, and have to go through the mirror somehow. It's all different. I have to figure out the pattern, if there is a pattern, and follow it. I need to get closer and speak to her again.
It seems like she's got you all wrong. She thinks he's you.
Yeah. I don't know whether, again, the hotel's trying to wreck me by showing me what looks like memory, or I don't know.
Have you ever thought that maybe some things are best left in the past?
It just feels like it just feels like it had been so long ago that I had run. I didn't mean to leave her. And then she was dead. It's my fault. I just want to tell her I'm sorry.
We've had more coins come up heads, so the case has a satisfying answer. Maybe you find the scraps of information you were looking for, confront the culprit, maybe you find the object you lost, or the identity of the figure who appeared in your room late at night.
I mean, you definitely found out a lot more information than you had before. Like, we weaved together the fact that Stella being in the mirror universe and then doing the song, changed things somehow. And then that's how he was able to see more or what have you. Because, I mean, it's one thing for the man behind the mirror to be Heath, but it's quite another thing to, have the fiance here. So obviously he's getting close. That changed. That seriously changed. So it feels like
Yeah.
he's
And I
closer.
think if Stella's goal ultimately is to find the man behind the mirror in this world, then she knows now that like probably if she helps Heath follow um Melody to wherever she is, to whatever the logical conclusion of this whole thing is, then she'll probably
Logical.
find, yeah, logical in quotation marks. She'll probably find the man behind the mirror there too, and she can get the answers she's looking for.
Exactly. So, oh man. Yeah. Definitely for fun. Ooh.
Okay. Well, that is that.
Mm-hmm. Um, something to. I feel like there's a good lead in for doing the fight it out, except, I mean, this is sort of a dream thing, and I don't know whether Heath could justify this, because he would be totally flattened by the man behind the mirror. Um, hold on, because that would be funny to do. Hold on.
Unless you either like do some kind of ritual or set up the you slant the playing field
Right.
in such a way that might allow us to be on equal footing, but I don't off the top of my head know what that looks like, but I'm open to workshopping it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this would be one of those things where it's like we would fast forward to a time where a liminal time where maybe Heath researches it because there's probably a library here, or like talks to somebody who has been a long time denizen of um the hotel. But actually, hold on, there is somebody around. Give me a second. There is a Madame Evelyn Walmsley who can find things for people. And perhaps he talks to her and then finds out that she knows of a particular, as you say, a ritual or something that will allow, uh, a neutral ground to be able to, face someone from or something from the hotel's stranger places on an even keel. Like the way she explains it is basically where, yeah, it's if you suspect that you've faced or seen something that you need to have words with or fight, and you want to even the playing field. I mean, I think this may be one of those things that she's able to dig up from the hotel's research or something. So, I mean, we could call it that. I mean, like, because otherwise, I can't think of any other way that could be used that would have them fight equally. Um, or he takes a potion that makes him like like an anomaly in a space for a little bit. That would be funny as hell.
Well, Heath has accessed this version of the hotel in his dream,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever lucid dreamed before, but
Like you're saying he turns into Rhyme Heath.
well, it doesn't have to be so like grand and like super heroic, but like maybe he does have the longer he spends here, maybe he does have a bit
Ooh.
more control over himself
Mm.
and the environment
Oh
than
wow.
he did before.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is because as he's also trying to get a handle on the changes, the patterns and all this kind of stuff, maybe he just like tries out more of the lucid dreaming thing and then he's able to gain more anomalous type ability to be able to, you know, face off against something like the man behind the mirror. So, I mean, it's a possibility, right? I mean, like, and also too, and like delving with Stella. What were you gonna add, Kevin?
I was just gonna say in lucid dreaming, power is kind of irrelevant. You are as powerful as you not even imagine. You just kind of are powerful. You can do whatever. That's the
Okay,
point.
got it. Okay, well, it is one mini game we have not tried, so I would like to give that a shot. So let's see, what does this look like? Fight it out, or meeting fist to fist. So that's what I'm picking. So only you and your chosen partner play. Decide how the two of you came to be alone and fighting it out. Yeah, I think this is fast forwarding a little bit because time is wimey and wibbly wobbly around here. Um, Heath has gotten more into the lucid dreaming part and just like been able to control a little bit more of like how he perceives his surroundings as well as himself here. What do you notice about each other? What do you want from this fight? And how badly are you willing to hurt each other? Uh, I think from the travels, especially because of remembering um, following Happy Heath, you know, from that particular memory, I think Heath is remembering the reflective eyes of Happy Heath and thinking, oh, it's that guy. Um, and noticing it's like, you know, maybe when in the dreaming he comes across you, Brigham, and decides, you know what, I got to take it up with you because you, regardless of whether it was a dream or not, I mean, like, you know, you were up close and personal with my fiance, and I don't like that at all. Um, what do you want from this fight? I don't know. I mean, yeah, just blowing off some steam, satisfaction, and shit. You know, like, did you like? I don't know. Like, try to understand if you knew who you were with, or if it was just like the hotel. You know, driving that particular instance or something like that. Uh, how badly you're willing to hurt each other? I mean, don't
Yeah,
ever,
how bad?
don't ever wear my face ever again. So,
Yeah, I mean, as an anomaly, man behind the mirror just wants to scare Heath. Uh, as for how how badly he's willing to hurt Heath to get that, you know, in the dream, in dreaming, like pain is a funny concept. but psychological pain could be on the table, and maybe convincing Heath that he cannot directly face his trauma um is on the table. I think that's everything. I don't know about, what do you notice about each other? What do you notice about Bregan Moore?
Are you saying like, what I noticed about you, or what you notice about me?
I Let's go both.
I think you notice that there's a bit of a like a gaseous type of like quality to Heath, as if like, he's kind of ghostly in this uh particular place, but yet also able to move into quite solid form quickly if need be. So I mean, like, he's able to phase easily. Um,
Mm,
so that's something that you would notice. And I feel like what Heath notices about the man behind the mirror is that he seems a little bit more visible. Like, it's not just like, peripheral vision type stuff here. It's more like, I see you directly. I'm going to
mm.
take it up with you because I can actually see you now. And like, you're not just like that voice behind the door, or that, like, just a leg or an arm that I see in passing or something like that. I'm like, I'm actually seeing you, even if it is kind of like hazy about the edges or whatever. But I'm like, I'm actually facing you now.
Yeah, I feel like this fight has to take place on like transitioning between reflective surfaces. And
Mm,
so the man behind the mirror is going to do a lot of looking like Heath, but like I can imagine Heath like literally real Heath like literally reaching through the mirror, grabbing his own reflection and yanking him into the room with him through the frame of the mirror. And like that's how
yeah.
this fight sort of starts.
Right. Because I mean, I think with a lot of the leading questions, it's a lot of like grabbing, grappling, touching, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So it has to be like all this in between the reflections and back and forth and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that happening for sure.
Uh, who is the person with the most advantage or influence on the other?
We
I
can't
mean,
just.
on the one hand, well, we're not in the mirror world. We're in a lucid dream, right? So,
Yes.
I don't know. If it was the mirror realm, I would say easily the man behind the mirror, but we're
No.
not on his turf. So
No.
I'm wondering if it's Heath who has done all of this stuff and gone out of his way to slant the field in his favor.
Yeah, I think that's fair because I mean, he's pulling like man behind the mirror like into a space where it's being more fair. So it's not like where Brigand's going to be able to scare Heath easily, you know?
Hmm.
So, all right. With the other begins, take turns asking leading questions back and forth. At any time after the third question, either of you may choose to ask a closing question instead. Um, Keep in mind that an answer to a leading question may end a fight, while an answer to a closing question might allow the fight to continue depending on the circumstances. Eh, so depending on what it is, I'll start with an oldie but goodie. We draw near, grappling each other, and your mouth is at my ear. What do you say?
I think uh I think what Heath says to himself is she's already dead and nothing that you can do will change that. I throw all of my weight into a powerful blow. Do you give ground readily or begrudgingly?
Let's see. Blow. Give ground readily or begrudgingly. I think I give ground readily, but that's only because it's like I'm using your momentum in this particular place to, to throw you off, to kind of use it to swing you round and then like kind of like toss you off of me, um, instead of like having the blow land solidly on me. So like you're throwing all your weight into it. I phase, and it's like I give ground readily. All right, so there you go. Let's see. I pretend to falter and slow, intentionally missing a shot. Do I draw you out, or do you recognize the trick and hold steady?
I mean, I'm Heath. Of course I recognize the trick and hold steady. You're fighting yourself. Why would you not know yourself? Do you not know yourself? I think you even get like come on. Um, and that transitions into us.
At any point, you can do a closing question.
It's after the third. Was that our third? Yeah, that was our third.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna go there just yet. We circle each other like stalking animals. What do you say to me?
Did she mean anything to you when you held her, when you kissed her, when you moved against her like that?
Did she mean anything to you when you held her, when you kissed her like that?
Of course.
Of course.
And he just gives off an angry snort. And let's see. I attack and you barely dodge it. A fraction slower and I might have ended the fight for good. Does that exhilarate or chill you?
I think it exhilarates. It exhilarates me. Um, yeah. I think we see the man behind the mirror sort of uh, grinning a little bit. But uh, your blows are perilously close to my face. Do you hit me? And if so, what do you damage?
I think once you say that, where you pretty much reflect what Heath says, it's not taking it as ironic. He's taking you at your word that she meant as much to you as to him. He is getting angry and he is aiming blows to your face so this way you cannot look like him anymore. And so, yes, he is going to hit you and he is going to. I think he's going to like try to knock you out, like try to like damage your jaw. I mean, like, even though, I mean, like, you are probably not like following the same anatomical rules as a regular human, but it doesn't matter. That's what he's trying to do. He's like trying to dislocate your jaw. He's trying to crack your cheek, whatever. I mean, like he's trying to do that for sure. Um, I think he lands a blow like right at your jawline. So whether he
I,
damages it or not, I'm not sure.
I mean, I
So,
think you get the spider web crack just
mm,
like up the side,
yeah.
looking like that one person's iPhone that you know with the screen.
God.
We all have that one friend, if we're not
Yes.
that person ourselves.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh my gosh. So I think after knocking your jaw and like landing that spider web crack, I think I land another decisive hit, but in doing so, I leave myself open for a harsh blow in return. Do you deliver it?
I mean, I am the man behind the mirror. I feel like it's tit for tat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely deliver it.
Where do you
In fact,
deliver
in
it?
fact, I think like uh I think I don't think this is even like really stretching the wording of that prompt. I think it's the same exact move.
Okay.
Whatever
Yeah.
you do, it's
Right.
it's the same. If you go for
There's
another
right.
haymaker,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
our fists are two ships passing in the night.
Yes. Like there's just like the weird like like anime angle or whatever works. Yeah.
The Matrix, the camera
Yes.
spin.
Yes. The camera spin. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yep. And then it's
What
like
is it? You decide. Like how
hmm
what is the blow? Is
Okay.
it just
So
another like
jaw.
haymaker to the jaw? Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Oh, wait. I mean, so like, if we're gonna think like reflective or something like that, it's like you reflective, like with the jaw, spider web crack. But I think you're taking the momentum then and doing like a spin, and then you're doing a kick to, or yeah, kick to my face, like in the same place, but in the other
Mm,
side, right? Um,
gotcha.
And so, like, it doesn't do a spider web crack, but I mean, like, the sound is like similar, but I think it kicks me out of the dream. And then I wake up with an extreme, like, uh, yeah, an extreme, like, a sore jaw, if not like, dislocated jaw. And, uh, yeah, like what seems like a hangover because, like, my brain has been addled, like,
Sure,
been
sure.
knocking around in the skull. Yeah. So, oh my gosh. Yeah. That definitely brought the fight to the close for sure. Oh my gosh. All right. So, and that's the close of Fight It Out. So, I think we can take our break now. 10 minutes. And
Sure.
then it's your turn to pick out a game
Yeah,
after that.
I'll
So,
take a look.
alrighty. So, 10
Sounds good.
minutes. See you then.
Mhm.
Oh, yes.
I think it is my turn.
Yes. Sorry.
No worries. I was gonna check in and see if anyone was planning on doing Dancing in the Dark, and if not, I was gonna go ahead and give it a shot.
Yeah, go ahead. Absolutely. So,
Sure.
Dancing in the Dark is one of those games that I placed on the separate Miro board because it's like comprehensive and it's kind of like a mapping game. So, it requires like, a little bit more room and a little bit more finagling for drawing and such. So, let me see. Let me see if I can do something brilliant like actually share a screen. Yeah, it looks like it's sharing. All right, great. So, lead us off.
All right. So Dancing in the Dark or an expedition. Anyone can play. Begin by describing the discovery of an unexplored area of the hotel, such as a cordoned off wing, a basement, a floor that's not been open for some time, or similar. Decide who's going to investigate it and their reasons for going. And then there's some rules. We'll get into that in a second.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking that an interesting framing would be not that the man behind the mirror in the present is investigating this space, but we're actually going to see sort of maybe the early days of the man behind the mirror.
Ooh.
So actually, Bregan Moore, possibly when he was a guest at the hotel and accidentally slipped into the mirror space for the first time and is beginning to explore that space. Does that sound decidedly unfun for anyone.
That sounds like such a great idea. I love it.
Yeah,
So
that sounds
Cool.
really cool.
So yeah, this will be through Greg and Moore's perspective, and they might either already be an anomaly or be in the process of turning into one. We don't really know yet. But anyways, so we already have the stuff to draw on. I have a witch dice room. I'll just pop that here in chat in case anybody wants to follow along. And during the game, anyone may ask for details of the setting or pause to play out a scene. We've got our virtual whiteboard, so we have our map. We can start at any square on its outer edge. I'm going to pick uh, green row, second in from the left to start. So I have a little bit of room to maneuver. Yes, that one that Elle is hovering over. Have a player who suggests the expedition be the first to draw up a room. To draw up a room, first roll a d4 to see how many doors it has, then a d6 to find out what type of room it is. Some types of rooms may require additional actions when you roll them. When you've done this, add the room to the grid. Its doors may be any orientation you wish, but each room must connect to the next by at least one door. You may leave open doors to double back later if you wish. And then as you enter each room, describe how it looks and what it might be used for, then play out a scene or applicable minigame set inside. Um, and then there's ways to end the expedition. Yeah. So I think what we actually first see is a sort of like young, scared, uh, mask presenting hotel guest somewhere who has slipped out of time, and kind of backrooms-esque uh liminal space hotel, yellowing wallpaper, and everything has this sort of like wibbly wobbly quality to it, as if it's though it's being seen through a funhouse mirror sort of in motion. And we just hear this sort of a young scared voice going, hello. I think I'm lost back here. Can anybody help me get back to the front desk or anywhere? But let's take a look see. So I need a D4 and D6. Uh, 3 on the D4, 1 on the D6. So there are 3 doors out, it looks like. So we will just do some connections here, here, and here. And a 1 passageway, corridor or hallway with entrances that lead deeper into the hotel, which makes a lot of sense for where we are. Territorial anomaly, things that could be here: a mysterious ring of keys, a discarded newspaper, bloodstained carpet, or the sound of footsteps right behind you.
and don't mind the excuse me. Don't mind the post-it notes around it. I mean, like, those are movable, obviously, and then you can just say, where you're at and like move things accordingly, right? So, I mean, you can set things wherever you actually are. In fact, if you want to label that particular thing as the passageway, because
Mhm.
then it's like, those are doors leading to the actual rooms. So who knows?
And uh,
If you want to roll for the encounter, or like, this is just something that happens in the hallway, that's perfectly fine.
um, I mean, the one that jumps out is the sound of footsteps right behind Bregan.
Yeah.
And so he runs, very Gardens of Yin-esque, runs blindly deeper into the hotel. And I think, seeing as I have a nice 3-way split, uh, we'll just go into that pink row directly above, which I think means another D6 and another D4.
Mhm.
Looking at a 2 on the D4 and a 2 on the D6.
Okay.
So there are 2 ways out. Of course, we will go uh, deeper in each direction, I think. Hospitality, a place that staff might frequent. Think storage closets, kitchens, and boiler rooms. Hmm. Possible encounters: an old supply order, a pager that buzzes constantly, a machine to repair, hidden staircase, set of strange tools, dismembered limb in laundry pile.
Question for
Ooh.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Brigham Moore wouldn't know this at this time, but how can you tell, speaking uh, as a player, how can you tell that Lane Maddox has been here?
Wayne Maddox. That was our that was Rob's character, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Concierge.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He didn't smoke, did he?
I think he did.
I mean, the thing that jumps to mind would be like, yeah, some evidence of smoking a Zippo for some reason is what's coming to mind.
Okay.
But as for what this room is, in that case, I feel like kitchens
Okay.
for here, or yeah, or a supply, not a supply closet. Well, yeah, a supply closet, but I think there's hallways attached to it that
Mm-hmm.
allow for deeper egress.
What's
Um,
the supply?
Janitorial stuff, cleaning, a mop and bucket, linens, towels, sheets, a few at least. Um, and oh, playing on the idea of like an old supply order, and to answer your question, there's a written note that was left at the concierge desk, or left by the concierge rather. There's a note like actually pinned to like a cork board, um, from Lane, uh, saying, to the cleaning staff, like, when you get a chance, bring extra towels to room 202.
I also have a question.
Sure.
Um, I know you described Brigham Moore as young and scared. Um, I guess I'm curious about more details of their appearance and what kind of clothing they're wearing, like from what era.
How dare.
Sorry.
I was hoping to leave that as vague as possible so I didn't have to make that decision. Actually, you know what? I take that back. It's not a young Bregan Moore. It's Jutta Schmetterling is running through the hotel trying to find this stuff. Um you want specificity, you're gonna get it. And it's Jutta. Yeah. We saw her make contact earlier. I do still think this is like she is maybe either like crossed with Bregan Moore, or it will become Bregan Moore in this world, and we're watching like when that happens or something along those lines. I think this is in the past is where I'm going with that line of thinking. Still. So I don't know if there's something to discover here, but we shall. Um, and that saves me from having to describe Bregan Moore for a little longer. So with that in mind, let's
But I
stay on the
mean, like,
hmm?
since nobody has seen Yuta, can you describe Yuta?
Oh, Yuta is a Swiss young woman of high school age, sort of wavy auburn hair, wearing a school uniform, like a very preppish 1970s, but very like boarding school style uniform. So probably like a navy blue cardigan, a tie, and I think a yellow plaid skirt. I don't remember if we actually ever described the Casilla Archers uniform, but in my head now they are yellow plaid skirts, and probably a matching tie. And cool. Yeah, let's stay on the pink row. And actually, if the goal is maybe yellow, Let's go to orange. Um, D4, D6. Oh no, it's a 1 on the D4 and a 5 on the D6. Now, a 1 on the D4, that must mean it's a dead end because there's only one door.
Yes.
Okay. So we have a dead end and a 5 on the D6.
Well, of course they stop here because it's a place of fun and relaxation. It's
Yeah,
leisure.
leisure. Think arcades, indoor pools, casinos, and lounges. Um, hmm.
What would make Yuta stop? Like, stop and play or relax?
Well, I think she stops because there's no doors out. She has to turn back.
Hmm.
But arcades, indoor pools, casinos, and lounges. Um, hmm. Hmm. For some reason, I'm thinking it's a billiards room.
Okay.
Why particularly? Maybe because there's a billiard set already broken as one of the list of possible encounters. But yeah, some sort of game room, or if this was the game blueprints, it would also have the dartboard and like a little bar, like a sort of mini bar in it. Yeah, but it's a dead end, so I think turning around and going back the other way from the supply closet or through this the hallway with the supply closet in it then makes the most sense. I don't know if there's anything to be gained in the billiards room other than the fact that, we have I think she can see people on the other side of the mirror. Only we're now on the far side of the mirror. So it's like looking through a window or a a two-way mirror, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
from the wrong side or the right side, I guess, depending on your perspective. But she's looking into the billiards room from the billiards room, and she's seeing people playing. And she turns around and sees that like the balls have changed position on the billiards table. Somebody's throwing darts at the dartboard in the mirror, and she turns around and there's now two darts sticking out of the mirror. And I think she's horrified by this. Um, and we hear her scream, and the people in the billiards room like all sort of like look around because they heard it, but they don't know where it came from. But she turns and runs back through the supply closet to another dead end. And a 6 on the D6.
Ooh, secret.
Interesting.
Holy crap.
A room deep within the bowels of the hotel that contains one of its secrets. I might need your help for this one, guys.
Okay.
Let's work together for what does Yuta and I think this is going to be the last like vignette or the last scene before
Sure,
we
sure.
cut back to present time.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's got to be something either cliffhangery or harrowing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And yes,
Maybe
Yuta does the
this
annoying math puzzle.
maybe this is what starts the journey from Yuta to Briggan
Yeah, I
to
was gonna
Yeah,
Man
say
Behind the
same.
Mirror.
yeah.
What do we think that is, though? That's the question. Oh, Lord. Mm.
I think we see her going like down some stairs. There's leaving the supply closet room. We see her descending a set of stairs going down into what looks like a basement. Um, but when she walks into it, it would be the first thing that jumps to mind, or the way to describe this would be like the inside of a gemstone, um, sort of prism of glass that's just, like six faces on each side of her. Um, and it gives that impression of uh infinite reflections. If we were doing a camera, you'd do that slow spin and you would just see like copies of Yuta just like stretched out into infinity in each of the six different faces, and we watch her almost like strobe effect as she turns around and realizes the stairs behind her are gone. She starts to lose all of her color. The yellow in her plaid, the color of her skin starts to degenerate towards this sort of, or desaturate towards a sort of black and white TV palette. Um, and then hardens again back to a reflective silver. And uh, we then see in various different flections, we see Happy Heath, we see Melody, we see uh, the various other people that Bregan Moore has, uh, the various other forms that Bregan Moore has taken, and we see a hand come reaching out and snatch Yuta by the throat. And even though she starts to scream, things fade into darkness and silence from there.
Way to turn this into a jello.
Turn this into what?
Into a jello.
Oh, yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man. Awesome.
That's my go.
Amazing.
All right, once again, I don't know what I want to do.
No. Oh, my gosh. Amazing. I was almost going to suggest like a game of billiards.
That's actually the one that I'm looking at. I was thinking about that too. I was just mulling over how I would want to frame it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I will do hit me with your best shot or a conversation over billiards.
Okay.
I think that since we last saw her, Stella has been doing a lot of wandering of the Mirror Hotel. And I think maybe she's found that room that we just described, the one with the sort of gemstone inside. Um, I'm imagining that maybe this room, I mean, we've already seen that it can change its shape. Stairs can be there one moment and gone the next. So I think it changes depending on who is beholding it, who is influencing it, like a mirror. Um, yeah, the prison chamber. I think that's my name for it. Um, but I think we see Stella like take a very similar path through the hotel as what we just saw Yuta take in her wanderings. She gets confused and turned around because she knows she just left the billiards room, but then she, takes a turn and then another turn, and it seems like she's back there, but those that like kind of crystalline growth is all over the walls this time. Um, and I would like for the man behind the mirror, in whatever form he is taking at this moment, to be here when she gets there.
Yeah.
Um, so we set up a scene with our chosen partners, decide which billiards room we're in. We've done that. Um, and how you came to be playing a game together. Other players may join freely if it makes sense for their characters to be there. Um, what do you notice about each other at first glance?
Who is a person that Stella would be unsettled to find here?
Unsettled to find here?
Yeah.
Um,
Because Man Behind the Mirror wants to scare her and wants to run her off. So he's going to take a form from her thoughts or memories that is unpleasant to be around.
Her mother.
Can work with that.
Is it the same deal where man behind the mirror has the tell is the reflective eyes? Or something different?
Yeah, I'm wondering if the easy answer is yes. I'm wondering if there's anything if any other ideas come to mind. But for now, let's say that.
Ooh,
Yeah, sure.
wait.
Hmm?
Question for Stella.
Hmm.
Does mommy wear like is she like a stage mom kind of thing?
Yeah, that's the vibe. I
I
think
wonder if she's wearing
she's,
like big reflective sunglasses.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm picturing Stella's mom as like a woman who wanted to be an actress herself and didn't quite make it, and so kind of made sure that her daughter made it for the both of them. And that's kind of the vibe.
I take it.
Um, I think what you notice about Stella is that she's still not scared of you. In fact, she was afraid, I think, when she felt like she was lost and disoriented and confused, but she seems to regain focus when she sees this mother who cannot possibly be her mother standing there. How we play this game is we take turns. For the first turn, everyone must decide on one question, the break, to be answered by every character in the scene. Number yourselves, then use a random number generator to determine who will break first. Uh, I can be one and you can be two. I'll roll a D2.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. I will break first. Then we'll proceed around the table until everyone has answered the chosen question. Player chosen to break first will also perform the break on the billiards table. Okay. What question would we like to be our break question here that both of us will have to answer? Um, I might suggest I saw you blank earlier and I'm curious about it. How did you react when confronted? Maybe like I saw you change earlier, like referring to that
Mm-hmm.
scene where we became someone else. But I'm open to other suggestions.
And you want that to be a question that you answer as well.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Yeah, I'll match you.
Does breaking mean I answer first or I ask first? Sorry, I've confused myself. I suppose you have to confront me about it first. I'm curious before I answer how the man behind the mirror brings this up.
Well, if you're breaking, I think Stella goes to ask the question first, and the man
Mhm.
behind the mirror is just faster in the asking of it. But will hand Stella the cue stick and probably stands opposite her, like is racking the billiards balls, fun little triangle, and rolling them into
Mhm.
place, and it's in that sort of like pause uh when he takes the triangle off that he asks, I saw you bleed earlier and I'm curious about it.
I thought I thought that's what you wanted.
You, my mother always said, you have to put your whole muscle into it if you really want something. All of your flesh and blood. And my mother was right about most things, I think. And I really wanted it to know what was on this side. And I couldn't understand why until I saw you change. Who is Yuta? Why do I know her?
I'll be honest, I'm not sure I know myself. I don't think she belongs here any more than you do. Maybe even less. I get the sense she's somebody who broke the rules. What rules? Whose rules? Now that I don't really know. But it seems there are rules to this place. Don't you think that there are rules?
I think you want me to believe there are. But I think this place can do much more than you're letting on. I think you know much more than you're letting on. You didn't get her right, by the way. She had a mole above her lip right here on the left.
Well, sometimes we like to hide those things about ourselves. Maybe she was self-conscious. Why are you here?
Stella flicks her green eyes at her mother, um, and then glances down at the billiards balls. And she didn't think she knew how to play pool, but she performs a pretty flawless break. Um, so after the break, we proceed clockwise around the table. On your turn, flip a coin to see how many balls you sink, heads for one, tails for two, and choose that amount of questions. Ask them to any other player and strike them from the list. You may also engage in improvised conversation around these questions or describe your playstyle at the billiards table. On your turn, you may alternatively choose to scratch and immediately eliminate one question from the list. This question cannot be asked or answered by anyone for the duration of the game. We will play until it is someone's turn and all questions have been struck from the list.
Ooh,
I
so is it
think
my
it's
turn?
probably your turn.
Okay. Was I supposed to ask you? Wait, were you supposed to ask me about I saw you change earlier?
I did.
Oh, oops. Okay. Look at me answering.
Well, you're supposed to, like on your turn, you're supposed to flip a coin to see how many balls you sink, and that's how many
Yeah.
questions. Yeah.
Oh, that was from the break. So everybody's supposed to answer that. But let's see what this is. I have one of these silly quarters. But that's tails. So the other side's heads. So what is
Two questions.
tails? Two questions. Oh my goodness. I mean, I remind you of someone else you knew once. Who is that again? Um, yeah. I mean, you know I'm not your mother. But I do remind you of somebody else. Who was that again?
I think Stella's not looking up at her mother. She's just watching the slow rolling, the last balls moving across the felt.
Hmm.
I I don't know anymore. I don't even know how long I've been here or where here even is anymore. I thought it had been a week at most, but feels like I have memories in the hotel now to feel a lifetime. I replay voices from my other life in my dream. I can't see anybody's face. It's like you stole all of them.
I think that means you've been here a long time, darling. And I know if you stay here much longer, there isn't going to be anything left. Most people, when they start poking their nose into things the way that you do, there's only a few ways out, a few things left. You have to pretend, you see? You have to lose or wipe those memories from you. You have to act like this hotel is normal, like this place is normal. I don't like it when you ask questions, when you go down the hallways that you're not supposed to, when you don't show up for breakfast. Sooner or later, those people just stop. And if you think death is bad, you don't know what that entails. Of course, there is another option. I haven't seen it done. I don't even know if it's really possible. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Escape.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave.
Then what do you want? Do you even know what you want?
I want to start over to be everything from the beginning, famous and beautiful and happy and together. I want that without all the pain.
Well, I'm
But
feeling. Go ahead.
I just don't think it happens out there.
Well, what if it could? I'm feeling a little generous. What favor do you want to ask of me? When you look in the mirror, do you want to see yourself young like that again? Beautiful. Everybody that looks at you loves you, or what you might call love, what you think is love. Is that what you want?
Yes. Yes. Can you give it to me?
Oh, baby, it's done.
I flip a coin or roll a die. Two questions. Mm, I think I hope to persuade you that he needs his dreams to come true too. So I think Stella's getting all misty-eyed. Her gaze is sort of far away. She's imagining this future that you're saying is already here for her. And then she sort of snaps back for a moment and says, and for Heath. He's really hurting. I don't think he wants to leave either, but something needs to change for him. Can you help him? Will you?
I'd be a bit more inclined to help Heath, but he wants to torture himself. I'm not the only thing wrong with this hotel. Heath's business is with somebody else. I'm just the messenger. But Heath's problem is his own sins. What about you? What are you still holding on to? What sins do you cling to? Heath wants a dead girlfriend to tell her that he loves her until, I don't know, he's satisfied. I've always found that a little bit selfish, personally. Why not just let the dead lie? It seems almost cruel to bring someone back just to tell them that you love them. It's not for them, it's for the person saying it. No, I can't. I can't help Heath.
I think the mist in Stella's eyes is brimming over to tears, and she hopes you don't bring up the fact that she clearly desperately wants Heath to love her. Maybe it's not because like she's in love with him, but because she has this compulsion to suck in everybody's love like a vacuum. And she really wants that from him, knows that he cannot give it. And do you bring it up?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a bastard like that. Uh, I think, in that camera transition way, it pans behind Stella. We see it might have been Happy Heath before, but then when it passes by Stella, we see Melody. on the far side. And she gets on the billiards table and does that like crawl across it to get like a couple inches from Stella's face. And she says, "You want him to look at you the way he looks at me, don't you? It's not about being younger. It's just about being loved for you. It's not even about being loved. It's about being told."
Cruel to mock me when you clearly don't know how it feels.
How what feels? To be looked over? To be ignored? To grow old? What are you so afraid of?
And shriveled and small and empty. Now you have this whole hotel, the whole run of it.
And she's looking at Melody, but she's talking to the man behind the mirror.
I only have my little room and my table at breakfast and the birds. That's not anything else.
Hmm. I scratch and I will take off. I'm feeling nostalgic. Would you like to ask me about my past?
I flipped or rolled,
Oh, gotcha.
and I'm asking one question.
Gotcha.
As Stella moves around Melody to take her turn, you'll see that she has, I think, tucked inside of her robe, you see that bloody edged shard of mirror that she still carries with her. And she clearly tries to cover it up, like pulling her robe tight over her bosom, but you see it nonetheless. Do you let her recover gracefully, or do you hold it against her?
I think it'd only be polite to let you recover gracefully. Melody just turns her gaze away, takes her turn, and scratches again. Mark off, I know a secret, something that I wasn't supposed to.
I ask one question on my turn. I think Stella takes her turn in spiteful silence, ruminating over what's been said. She's reluctant to offer you much. What's something the man behind the mirror wants to ask of her? And what will you trade her for her answer?
I want to ask her what it would take to get her to burn down the hotel. And what will I trade her for her answer? Well, I already gave her looks, her youth and her beauty back when she looks in the mirror. So I don't know what else I have in leverage.
Mm.
I will tell her that I love her and mean it.
Do you just
How do
Yeah.
you, yeah, how do you
Yeah,
say
yeah. How do I convey all of that?
it?
I think I think we see that scene play out in the mirror. I think so. It is direct, but direct through a lens of, crystal ball possible future. We look up in the mirror, or Melody brings her attention to, this big giant bar room glass mirror in the space, and we watch a vignette play out uh of Melody asking, what would it take to get you to destroy the hotel? And I don't know how exactly she coyly offers. Um Maybe there is like a little sensual moment where like she walks up behind Stella and like runs her fingers along her arm, um and says, if you tell me, I will tell you that I love you and mean it. Only when she says this, she is looking through the mirror at this side of the mirror, Stella, not the
Mm,
one that she is currently flirting with on the other side of the mirror.
hmm. Yeah. Stella looks into Melody's eyes through the mirror and says, I want to hear her say it. You done.
You can't. It's not you that she loves. Well, no. So we're breaking reality. So that can be arranged.
Stella smiles big, almost too wide. I think those tears have spilled over, trailing down her cheeks. I think she just wants to feel that overwhelming love again that she felt when Yuta spoke to Elaine. A love that would endure every world and every time. If she feels that just once more, she could burn and burn happy. I think it's her turn. I think.
It is. Uh, so it is. We see Melody line up a shot, and she sinks the cue ball again. Scratch. I hope to find common ground with you about something. No longer an option.
Scratch. You've seen me do something strange or out of character recently. No longer an option.
Hmm. Why her? I'm curious. You just want to feel someone else's love? Doesn't make any sense. What do you want, Stella?
You said it yourself. Someone else's love. Maggie, you got all those faces. Do you understand? There's no difference in whether it belongs to me or not. I want to take it.
Are you sure that's what you want? I have two questions. I admit to being afraid that you have ill intentions for Utah. Do you reassure me?
Mm. I think I try. Stella is nodding insistently in this almost childlike way, like when a kid with chocolate around their mouth insists that they didn't eat the last chocolate chip cookie. Um, and I think there's something in the back of your mind that is trying to warn you that what Stella really wants is to find a way to use that love, Yuta's love, to reach those other worlds, those other times, and find the one where she's happy.
I think we see Melody sink another ball because I rolled a 2. And then she goes to strike and misses, so it's Stella's turn. And Melody walks up towards Stella. The lights flicker and we feel the hotel shift around us as we play. And unless you have a better idea, I like the idea that it's for a moment we're back in the dance hall of the Casilda Archer theatrical school for young women during the performance of the Yellow play when the glass is sort of falling all around them.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I think Stella, is her mood is shifted. She feels like something is finally in her grasp. And I think when the shift happens, it's like, I don't think she doesn't seem scared. She never seems scared. In fact, I think she throws her arms upward, like one might do in a sudden rainstorm, feeling the glass shards fall around them, feeling the soles of her feet getting cut, feeling the warmth of a blaze beginning to form. And she looks over at Melody and smiles. Is this what it's going to be like?
They died, you know. Everybody else did. Everybody died.
that we are beyond death now. Scratch. It's your turn, and all questions have been struck from the list. You have been awarded the 8 ball, whatever that means, and where the scene has ended up. You may ask an original question to further your own agendas to any
Oh,
players you
okay.
choose. You also sink the last ball and end the game.
Yeah, it was just a trick of the light. We're back in the hotel. Um, or the lights flicker and they just flickered and now we're back in the hotel. Oh boy. Question to ask everyone to further my own agenda. The easy question is, and I hate to be one-dimensional about it, but if you were going to destroy the hotel, how would you go about doing it?
Oh.
This is for everyone. This is for Heath as well. So I can ask it of everyone.
Hmm. Oof.
And actually, I'm gonna get meta, and I'm gonna say this is not to your characters. This is to your players. This is to Elle and Mads.
Ooh.
Um,
Oh boy.
If you were going to destroy the hotel, how would you do it?
Oh, but Kevin, I'm such a peaceful soul. You can't ask me that question.
Sorry. Sorry. Lost my composure there for a second.
I don't know if
Sorry.
that level of laughter was warranted. That might.
Okay.
Getting late. We can laugh as much as we want.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I mean, they usually say it's like, you gotta find the heart of the heart of the thing and then like
There
destroy it.
there is in the mini game that I played earlier, there is something called the heart of the hotel.
Right. Right. You know.
Oh, and the dancing in the
So
dark mini
yeah,
game.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
In six. So like theoretically, I decided not to go there with the prism room, but if we roll a six on Dancing in the Dark, there could be a way to find the heart of the hotel.
Right. And it doesn't have to be us. It could be the, like one of the other groups, just for funsies. You know. Destroying the
That makes
hotel.
sense to me. Stab it in the heart.
Yeah. Right.
I'll buy that for $1.
But yeah. I mean,
Well, here's the interesting question.
or
Would the
like, like if we go really like really, fictionally meta, I mean like, just go down to the boiler room. Overload the boiler. Oh, just saying.
do you think the heart would be located in the mirror side or in the not mirror side?
Depends on what's causing the nexus, the shifting. Because if
Hmm.
we're thinking that, like, a lot of it is because of the reflections, we're basing it on the shifting of the reflections, then definitely the mirror side because it's hiding it in that dimension, you know? It can't
Hmm.
have it in the reality side because, that's just
That's
like,
just bad security.
hmm yeah, right. It's like the face of it, right? It's like the
Yeah,
surface
yeah.
part of it, and the mechanics, the movement part of it is what's in the mirror dimension. So
Hmm.
so the heart, you have to be in the mirror dimension, then like go find the heart, and then like take it out that way.
Hmm. Okay.
That's
Mm.
just one thought. Doesn't have to be that, but
I think I know how to destroy the hotel, but it's not. I don't think we should do this in the game. It's just my personal interpretation of things.
I think I would throw the manuscript that Heath is writing in the real world into the fire, and I would burn the hotel that way. I think Heath is the hotel in a sense.
Oh,
Interesting.
oh.
Wow. Okay.
Like the fact
Hmm.
that literally the hotel exists in his mind. Like the Heath can access the mirror world from his dreams, which is very strange. Like it all seems
Yeah.
like very interconnected and very connected to like Heath's mind, right?
Yeah.
So that's like my personal like headcanon for what's going on here.
that's that's cool. That's cool.
I love that.
That's really
I think
interesting.
he's working through something with maybe writing about his fiance and trying to exorcise some demons. And this is the strange story that he is telling.
Yeah.
So then that raises a sort of secondary, well, answer this if you want, but you're not technically bidden to by the rules, it seems, but is Yuta and Aline's fourth wall break from them breaking reality in the Yellow Curtain, or is Heath writing about them breaking the fourth wall?
Oh, come on now. I mean, like, you're going to be connecting realities because of like different reality breaks in every reality. So if like they interconnect because of the reality breaks, then
Hmm.
it's just naturally going to, you know,
Yeah. I
find its
guess in
way to
the
each other,
I
you
guess in the
know?
end it doesn't. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's how that's my head canon. That's how I think it works. I mean, like, there those breaks, those riffs are naturally going to dovetail into each other because, you know,
I see.
yeah.
I see.
I I think my interpretation of it is like Yuta and Aline can in their like reincarnation or travel through these different worlds and times or whatever it is. I think they like exist in every story
Hmm.
Yeah.
in some
Yeah.
sense, right? So it doesn't really matter whether like
Whether he
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
how many
actually
layers of fiction we are in,
yeah, yeah. I
right?
that's kind of as I was asking the question, as I was sort of like working my way through it, I'm like, I guess it doesn't really matter. Like the it's a difference without a distinction. Yeah. Similar thought.
And
Uh
another theory that I also hold to is the fact that there's certain things that like cause like nexus events, like grief is one and love, you know, is another. So I mean, like, when you have these certain things, I mean, like, just cause like pinpoints of
hmm,
like where they can kind of like, connect to each other. So I mean,
yeah.
He's got problems. He's got like some grieving problems, and then like, like Alina and Yuta have the love going on. So it's kind of like, again, it's like there's connections there because of like the strength of those emotions. So
Hmm. Cool. I'm satisfied.
okay, yeah. And you got a ton of theories for stories. I love it. I love this kind of shit. So yeah. And that was the game that
That was the
billiards. That's the one
billiards.
that Elle picked. Okay, so then
Yes. You
um
are up next.
yeah, but I think we should leave that for 26. Like, to
Hmm.
finish up whatever we want to finish up, and then like decide whether we're gonna uh, explore some more, and then like burn down the house.
Or people can try to escape.
Or try to escape. Yeah,
Or
there's so many options. There's like
yeah.
there's so many ways to do it. So we can decide on like how that looks, and then also engage in the between session games. The uh yeah, too much time on my hands, and play with the bulletin board. If you whatever you
Hmm.
want to paste up there and like be mysterious. Or private eyes, and then be the archivists who are looking into the mystery of hearing about the hotel, like putting together some pieces of like what's with this thing. We've heard about this thing, and like just kind of like putting some threads together. If you want to play that. Yeah. So just a real quick stars and wishes before we sign off for today. So I love all this meta stuff. I mean, like, and just putting things together, and like those scenes are just amazing. Between the man behind the mirror and Stella, like dovetailing into like a little bit of Melody challenging Stella about like what the hell does she really want, and like like what's her uh, 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 what's her real goal in like trying to bring Yuta back, and like just really like trying to dig at and poke at. It's like you're saying you want love, but I mean like what kind of love is it? And it's like, are you really do you mean it, or are you planning on some kind of harmful use of it, like weaponizing it in some way and all this kind of stuff. I mean, like, I just really, yeah, some really enjoyable scenes that I was like, just, oh my God, I'm getting so immersed in this. Amazing. And yeah, I love the concept of Stella being on the mirror side and then going into like, investigating with Heath, like just kind of like keeping up with him in his dream, and then like just kind of working it out that way, and like also finding out a little bit more information about like what Heath is thinking too, and then tying that into the possibility that like Heath is part of the hotel, or the hotel, or whatever. I mean, I think that's a really interesting theory, and I enjoy that too. And yeah, Kevin, I mean, like, you're being the man behind the mirror, Bregan Moore or Yuta, whoever. I mean, just creepy as hell, but also very wise, from your very detached way. And you're just challenging. And, um, yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't want to run into you, but but obviously you're one of the anomalies that we do. So yeah, I mean like yeah, I mean that fight scene was really cool. I mean, just to be able to, try to go toe to toe in a sense of like, look, man, I mean you, I don't know what you were playing at. I don't know if it was the hotel doing it or what have you, but I mean like, quit wearing my face, right? So, wishes, yeah, I mean, like, let's see how we want to try to wrap this up, and then, like, play some of the other games. In the meanwhile, I mean, like, we still have a couple more to look at, but yeah, I mean, a lot of them are just like deciding how we want to uh, have the characters go out, right? So, just deciding. Can't wait to see it. All right.
Yeah, definitely want to give a star to that theorize move that we just did at the very end there. Very fun.
Yeah.
I love the idea that Heath is writing the hotel into existence. Oh, bye, Elle. We'll see you again in a minute, I suppose. But Ella's back. Welcome back. Yeah, it's a really cool thing. It's something I hadn't even considered, but I love the thought. Um, the little sort of very fast version of like Gardens of Yin Stygian Library mini game was kind of fun to explore. Had a lot of fun just sort of mapping out bits and pieces of the hotel. Cool little mini game. Do like uh the just everybody's like commitments to the bit has been really fun. Seeing uh uh under all the prodding and probing, Stella just wants to be loved. Um and Heath it's wants, it seems like control, or just a way to vent grief. Some combination, column A, column B. Yeah, the fight scene was really cool. glad we got it. If you hadn't picked that mini game, I was probably gonna go for it. So I'm glad we just had a nice knockdown, drag out, hash out fight. Um, what's funny though is that I was actually kind of planning on inviting Stella into a fight scene, and then we had a billiard scene instead, which was basically a fight scene over a billiards table. So that was very fun.
You still
Um,
could do it anyway. I mean, like if you want to
yeah,
have a fight
yeah.
scene with Stella, sure.
No, no. The billiards was what I would have wanted out of a fight scene. So, um, just a different kind of fight, a cordial fight. Uh, uh, it was a very combative game of billiards. Um, yeah. And Wish. I mean, definitely. I'm eager to land the plane. Like I said, I don't know how this is going to end. I still think there's room, and even though it sounds like I am very much in the mindset of like burn it all down, which I am, but I think there is also a way that I'm open to being persuaded, or I'm open to the possibility of exploring the idea that the hotel is um I'm not going to say benevolent because that's incorrect, but having a place for this kind of area of grief and having it be a place where that stuff can be contained might be a net positive, in a weird sort of effed up way. Whereas if you break it and burn it, then it all flees out into the world. And is that really what we want? Um, so yeah, I'm open to the myriad of different ways. I think there's many different ways this can end, and I even though I know what I think Bregan Moore wants, uh, I don't I don't know how it's going to end. I'm curious to see how it's going to go. But yeah, I think that's what I got.
Yeah. I share everybody's stars. Stars for when we randomly made this a CFB game for no reason. I really enjoyed that. I appreciated you, Kevin, asking not our characters, but us as players how we would destroy the hotel. Um, that was really fun. I really enjoyed all the scenes. Just like visually, the fight scene was really cool. Like literalizing Heath's wrestling with his own grief, like him fighting himself, uh, or this reflection of himself in the mirror is really fun. Um, there's something else I had in mind. Oh yeah, I think I was really intrigued by it's still not super clear to me like how much of malevolence the seeming malevolence of the hotel is actually like Bregan Moore and how much it's the hotel itself. I really like actually that I don't know where that line is and how much power over what's going on, the man in the mirror, the man behind the mirror, I will get his name right, has on things. I think that's really fun and intriguing and like adds to the sort of creeping horror. Um, and yeah, I'm excited to see whether we do burn things down or whether I'm like sort of interested in like whether Heath is okay with that. Like, does Heath want the hotel to continue, especially uh if Melody or some vestige of her is still in it? I think there's like some interesting potential conflict there. Um, yeah.
Can't wait to see it. So yeah, I mean, like and if you decide to like have that one of the in between session games, like please like have fun with it. Like post some weird stuff on the bulletin board for the other groups. Um, you know. And then if you want to like add some threads to have them chase down some weird shit, like please do for the Private Eyes mini game as well. So yeah, um, just we'll see each other in a couple of weeks, and we'll see how we land this damn plane. Oh my gosh, so good today. So thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Happy gaming to you both. All right, see ya.
Bye.